Hi guys, welcome back to Sin City Living. My name is Jason. I'm bringing you today's episode. And today's episode is kind of an interesting one. It popped into my head yesterday. I've gotten literally 0 emails from anybody in the last probably three to 4 weeks. So I don't really have anything to film for you guys or suggestions off of you guys or strategies or anything like that. So I kind of got to come up with stuff while I'm at work. And this one kind of popped into my head over the last couple of days because I've seen almost all of this coming up. And I'm going to give you guys some examples of pretty much everything. But what I want to talk about is arguing at the table. And not necessarily arguing with other players, although that does come into play, but arguing with the dealers or the boxmen. Arguing with the dealers or the boxmen. And it comes to a couple of different areas, although it can really include just about anything. I had actually once filmed a video covering everything that the player is entitled to at the table, but I decided not to post it because it would have been a little controversial with some of our players, so I decided not to bring that one up. But those kind of things are what comes up, and people will argue about it. An example of that would be hitting the back wall. The dice don't hit the back wall, both dice aren't hitting the back wall, and a player, will tell the player, hey, you got to hit the back wall, and the first thing that always cracks is, well, I did hit the back wall. If you hit the back wall, we wouldn't be saying anything to you. You did not hit the back wall. Both dice has to hit the back wall. Or they'll say, it's the first time. I mean, no, it's not. If it was the first time, again, we wouldn't be saying anything to you. As a rule, I personally let the first 3 go, under most circumstances. The player's directly next to the stick, and they're not hitting the back wall. Well, the dice are not bowling balls. Like you're as close as you can possibly get to it, especially if they're setting the dice. Then hit the back wall, man. Hit the back wall. But arguing with the boxer, with the dealers about hitting the back wall, the player's not going to win. The player will not win. I had it last night. Told a player, hey, you got to hit the back wall. And another player's like, don't worry, don't listen to him. Just do what you're doing. Just do what you're doing. And I actually looked at that player and went, that's some really bad advice, man. And sure enough, the one that wasn't hitting the back wall, they eventually actually not only got cut off from shooting, they actually got kicked out. They actually got kicked out for various reasons, but it actually started with another warning on the back wall, which is amazing because we gave them so many chances. Typically, they had enough chances that we would have cut most shooters off 4 times. It's pretty crazy. I had that not too long ago with something similar too, with the players, other players like, just do what you're doing. That's really bad advice. Listen to the people on the table that are running the table. They are the ones that are in charge. Just like throwing the dice down the middle. Some players seem to think that they are entitled to throw the dice anywhere they want. No, it doesn't work that way. We don't mind, for the most part, when people try and throw into this corner here. We know that's one of those YouTube dice control myth things, but it depends. If they are cutting in too close, going into the dealer's working stacks or smearing out the dealer's bets, they're going to tell them, hey, down the middle, not in the dealer's working area. And I actually don't have a problem with the dealer doing this. I don't see very many dealers that do it, but I don't have a problem with the dealer doing this. Players like, get your hands out of the way. We'll tell them this is the dealer's working area. You've got 4 feet worth of table. Throw it down the middle. This is the dealer's working area. They could be up here tap dancing while you throw the dice. It doesn't matter as long as they're within their working area. So down the middle, tell the players down the middle. We'll definitely tell them not to hit the glass. If they're aiming off the glass, if it happens incidentally every so often, no big deal. But if they're aiming off the glass, we're going to tell them not to hit the glass. And again, we have players that argue with us. You're not going to win if the dealers or the boxmen tell a player, hey, you've got to do this. It's not we're not saying it for our health. So if the player continues to violate what we're telling them, we take the dice away from them. It happens on a daily basis. It happens almost on an hourly basis where we take the dice away from them. Sorry, you can't shoot anymore. And we'll tell them you can't shoot for the rest of the night. They're more than welcome to play, but every time the dice go around, it's going to skip right past them. They are not going, and going to another table isn't going to help. They're not going to be able to shoot anymore. Same thing with language warnings. Casinos are we're adult playgrounds for the most part, but there's a lot of children around. There still are a lot of children around, except for the few places that are 21 and only just to even enter the doorway. There's a lot of children around pretty much every casino. As long as they are moving, the children can be going through the gambling area. So there's a lot of children around, a lot of ladies around, and also, again, it's kind of an adult playground, so we expect people to act like adults. We don't expect people to act like high schoolers. So for the most part, language isn't going to be much of an issue. But if someone's dropping a bunch of F-bombs, we're going to tell them, hey, you need to take it easy with the F-bombs. Or if they're screaming them, we're going to tell them, dude, you got to take it easy. Got to take it easy with the F-bombs. That actually right there is what led to the last person that I saw kicked out. That was the reason. And it was pretty funny that we had one a while back, maybe a couple of months ago, where very, very similar thing. And we got to the point where we didn't kick him out. We just told him, okay, you're not playing dice anymore. Go find another game, but you're not going to be playing craps anymore. We handed him the money back. And they continued to argue with us. There's one of the players that was standing next to him that said, dude, you're not going to win. If you keep arguing with them instead of just leaving, they're just going to have security make you leave. And at that point, you're not going to be able to gamble at all. And it was pretty funny because the player actually listened to the other player and walked away, which was all we were looking for. Another one is that some people will argue with the dealers about, or with the boxman about, that again, you're not going to win. The players that stand right next to the stick person have their whatever ritual and thing with how they shoot. I've seen players that'll grab the dice and then make sure their elbow's in the right spot on. Anyway, it just makes everyone laugh. But the ones that have this big arm swing, all and full extension all the way out. Well, if you're right next to the stick, you better not do that, because we're going to tell you not to have your arm cross in front of the stick. We don't mind. There's going to be a little bit of crossing the arm, just a little bit of a wave, but this whole arm extension up in front of the dealer, no, not going to be allowed. And we're going to tell the shooter, hey, don't, your arm can't. Then we'll tell them the technical policy, which is your arm can't cross the plane of the dealer. Because you can throw the dice with just a flick of the wrist, especially when you're right next to the stick. You don't need this big arm swing. Again, they're not bowling balls. You're not throwing a shot put. You're throwing something that weighs like a half an ounce. If you can't hit the back wall with just a flick of the wrist, you probably have trouble picking up quarters, picking up change and throwing them in your pocket. So we'll tell them you can't cross the plane of the dealer. Again, it happens all the time. It's no big deal. It's a little minor cross in their body. But this whole full arm swing and all that, if it comes up beyond, say, their lower chest more than once, probably going to be told. Especially if it's crossing their upper chest or crossing in front of their face. Absolutely not, and they're going to be told. And when they argue, we take the dice away. We tell them, hey, you can move over, throw it differently. And then these players, they're just trying to throw you off. We don't have magical powers. Again, the dice are not sentient. They don't have muscles. They don't have feet. They don't have brains, eyes. They can't. They're not changing how they're going to land. But that's another one that comes up fairly often. And again, arguing with the dealers and arguing with the box, the player is not going to win. Never going to win. They're not bringing these things up for their health. They're definitely not bringing these things up to mess with the shooters or mess with the roll. That's just one of the dumbest things we've ever heard, because the dealers absolutely want the players to win. The dealers don't make money when the players lose. And somewhere around 80% of the dealer's income comes from the players. The last thing the dealers want is the players to lose. So even if it was somehow possible to mentally influence the dice and change the randomness of the roll, the dealers wouldn't do it. Obviously it's not possible, but the dealers wouldn't do it. It makes no sense. As far as the box goes, it's not their money. Again, the box doesn't care. The box wants the players to win, because the box wants the dealers to make money, and the box also knows if nobody wins, nobody would ever play. So none of this stuff is trying to mess with the shooters or anything like that. Nobody cares. Honestly, nobody cares that much. It's just the rules. Just the rules, just the policy. Now, every casino can have their own policies, and not all of these are universal, with the exception of hitting the back wall. And even there, some places won't push it as hard as others, or will give a whole lot more leeway. But but for the most part, these are pretty close to universal, and there's definitely more policies. Pretty much any time the dealer or the box gives somebody a correction on something, or hey, please do this, or hey, please don't do that. Again, it's not for their health. It's the policy wherever they're working, and if they don't enforce it, they're the ones that get in trouble. So they will enforce it. They will absolutely enforce it. And again, the player's not going to win. We want the players to play. We want the players to have fun within the rules. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Hope you guys find this interesting, illuminating, enlightening, or at least just plain fun. We'll catch you guys next time. Bye now. Thank you, everybody, for watching today's video. And as promised, a little bit more detail on things that we are working on. So again, we want to continue trying to expand the channel. We're really hoping to be able to add roulette as soon as possible, and then some video keno, video slots, stuff along those lines. Unfortunately, it ate up almost all of our cash, paying off all of our bills during the month of January while we were down. And now that the holidays have ended, YouTube's payouts have dropped significantly. So we're kind of treading water here as far as all that goes. Do have a lot of things we want to add, though. Not just those things, those additional games, and hopefully some carnival games and such like that. But the live streams. The biggest problem right now with the live streams is with 3 jobs combined between the 2 of us, 4 if I include the 20 to 30 hours a week I'm putting into the YouTube channel. It's very, very difficult for me to have a day and time that I can commit to doing the live stream every single week, because we also have our very young child to take care of. But I'm trying to figure that out. I'm thinking it's probably going to end up being on Monday nights or Tuesday afternoons, or possibly both. I intend to do at least one live stream exclusively for our patrons, and then another one on the YouTube channel. So possibly both days. We also have a few other things that we really want to attempt to move forward on. I'm just running into either time or skill set issues. I do want to eventually have a website going for us. I did used to program websites over a decade ago. A lot of things have changed, and I just don't have that time. And not a whole lot of knowledge on the current state of building websites, hosting what sites can host, and how to build up the e-commerce stuff. So if anybody has any skill sets along those lines and would like to answer some questions or just help us out, shoot us an email, sincitylivingLV@gmail.com. Also, I really hope to be able to start adding some exclusive stuff from Sin City Living, logoed shirts, hats. I'm looking to get custom dice made, even custom layouts made, although those would be pretty expensive. But I know zero about e-commerce and drop shipping and anything along those lines. So if you have any skill or knowledge in that area, please email me. I would love to ask you some questions and see if you can answer a few to help me figure out how to get that going. Same thing with designing our logos. I had some logos designed, very, very small logos, unfortunately, not big enough to blow up to put on t-shirts and stuff like that. And again, I know I know nothing about logo design, graphic design, any kind of websites that could do it. I literally know nothing. So if you have any skill or knowledge in that area also, please email me, and you're willing to answer some questions, please email me and let me know. I'll admit I don't even know where to start as far as asking some questions, but I'm sure I'll ask a few, and that'll trigger a few more, so on and so forth. So yeah, there's that, and of course we do hope to continue to improve our AV setup, but I am an AV moron, so also right there, if you have any skill sets or knowledge in that area, please email me, and are willing to answer some questions. Please email me and let me know. We would love to help. Otherwise, again, thank you everybody for watching, and we're very excited to continue bringing you our videos. Bye now.